Over 12,000 artifacts and objects await an interested viewer at the Memorial Art Gallery right here in Rochester's Neighborhood of the Arts. It's an exciting place to visit, and here to talk about it today are Rachael Brown. She's the Director of Marketing and Engagement, and Jessica Gasbarre. She's the Engagement Manager. So thank you both so much for coming in to talk about the museum.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're excited to be here.
Yeah, makes a wonderful place to visit. My, oh my. And so it's a very historic building and very storied institution in Rochester. Really something, and founded by Emily Watson, Sibley Watson.
Yeah, Emily Sibley Watson. She founded the museum in memorial of her son, James Averill.
And that was in what,
1913.
More than 100 years ago?
Yes.
Now, was she a collector herself?
She was a collector herself, yes.
Oh,
so her dad collected art, and then he passed on his passion to her.
I see. Well, that family lives on in Rochester still, to this day, I think. And so what kind of objects are we likely to see on permanent display at the Memorial Art Gallery?
Yeah, on permanent display we have our Media Arts Watch gallery that is actually rotating all the time. Maybe every 10 weeks or so you'll be able to come in and see a different film that is going to be on view. We have some Sam Gilliams that you would see, more famous names, Jackson Pollock. We have some Monets up there, thank you, Emily Sibley Watson. And we have our Egyptian collection, Native American artifacts. We really have a robust collection, something for everybody.
Really, from 1000 BCE on up, I think.
Yes, we have an encyclopedic collection, so yeah, over 5,000 years of world art.
Isn't that something? And how many feet of exhibit space? Is this a large museum?
It is pretty large. I don't know the exact.
Yes, I'm
It's
sorry.
hard to tell, but you can make a good day there, for
You
instance.
could definitely make a good day there. Yeah, there are 2 floors of the museum.
Right, and it's a very historic collection.
Yes, yeah.
And so, is there a picture of Nathaniel Rochester, for instance?
There is, actually. Yes, we have a picture of Nathaniel Rochester, and he's wearing these really cool glasses, which is interesting because optics in Rochester is huge. So then,
Optics is huge. And how about intermittent exhibits? Are there temporary displays also?
Yes, in our Lockhart Gallery, there's always something that's changing in there. And we have our Grand Gallery, which is formerly the Grand Gallery. It has now been renamed the Docent Gallery. We have recently had it all redone, and about every 3 months or so, there's a changing exhibition that's in there.
Right. Now, you mentioned a docent gallery. Can people be docents? How do you become one?
yes. So in order to become a docent, you do have to take our docent training. It is, it's about a year-long training, and they would meet once a week, and then just go over all of the different art history facts about our collection.
It's a very extensive training.
Yeah.
We've recently had a class of over 30 new docents graduate.
Oh, and what does a docent do, for instance?
The docents are really the champions of the museum. They take people on tours. They're really just a wonderful resource to have on hand to help educate the community about the art that we have. These are all art lovers who are passionate about art and are on hand to us to help with everything from trainings to tours to just saying hi and greeting people.
Hi, right, yeah. And so now, if you're going to plan a visit to Rochester, what should you be sure not to miss in the museum?
Ooh, I guess it depends on what you like, since we are an encyclopedic collection and we have a little bit of something for everyone. I would say, so recently in 2015, our director Jonathan Binstock acquired a painting by this artist called George Condo, and he is a really big deal in the art scene. He designed album covers for Kanye West. He was rumored to be dating an Olsen twin. And he's also just like a new, fresh, fun face in art. He kind of mixes some of Picasso with the Dutch masters. So I would say don't miss that work.
Definitely, if you're coming really any time of year, but it's so nice in the spring and summer. We have our Centennial Sculpture Park, and it's just really fun. It's whimsical. It's just fun to play in. We have around there we have our art and story stroll as well that you can follow and read poems that are on the ground, and it's really something great for children to take children to. Bring your dog and just hang out in.
Yeah, Memorial Art Gallery is sort of an oasis right there.
Yes, absolutely.
It's something like 10 acres or something.
Yes, it's a large space.
And you took part of that for this sculpture garden.
Yes.
Oh, that is remarkable.
And it's just a nice way to welcome visitors onto our grounds and then, kind of bring them into the museum.
Now, how about creation of new art? How are we engaging people in that?
So a couple of different ways. We have our creative workshop where we offer art classes every single day of the year, except for like holidays.
Yeah, and that's everything starting from, welcoming our new artists in that are children, for everything from painting to jewelry making to pottery. We really offer a lot of different options for people to, bring out their inner artist, whether it just be for fun or it's a profession.
And can they find out about how to get involved on your website?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and what is-
mag.rochester.edu.
Say it again?
mag.rochester.edu.
Okay, and so everything is there, actually.
Everything is
Everything,
there.
yeah.
And we also, for artists, we have our Clothesline Arts Festival every year. Which
Yes.
is over 400 artists.
Yep, our grounds are literally packed with every type of maker and art medium that you could ever want. And in recent years, it used to be only a New York State festival. We've opened it up to all over the country, and we've had multiple people come from as far as Texas to it to be able to sell their stuff. It's a really wonderful opportunity to bring the community together. We have over 20,000 people on our grounds.
Oh my, that's the Clothesline Festival.
That's for our
Yes.
Clothesline Festival.
And what time of year does that happen?
That is the first weekend of September after Labor Day.
Every year?
Every year.
Oh my, weather's beautiful and all that artwork?
Yes, yeah.
Is there food too?
There is food. We have food trucks, we have music, we have performances. It is an all-day affair. And then there's the book sale, and the museum is also open that
Oh,
day.
the museum is open?
Yes.
So can you become a member of the museum?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
How
yes.
does that work?
Well, you could do everything. We offer the option of coming up to our membership department. To do that, you can contact them online at meg.rochester.edu. Even if you just came into our admissions desk and said, I'd like to become a member, we can enroll you there. We make it very simple and easy.
I see. Oh, that's
And it's nice. The membership is good for 1 year. It's 100% tax deductible. It includes, yes, unlimited museum admission during our open hours, tickets to our opening parties, which happen about 3 to 4 times a year, discounts at the store, the creative workshop, and the restaurant.
And for some special exhibitions, members always get to see it free.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
That's a big, because
It is
there have been some special ones here recently.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like what?
So we had Monet last year. That was a really big deal. We have Muka coming up. We have a Judith Schechter show coming up.
And previously we've had Wendell Castle. His last exhibition, the great Rochesterian Wendell Castle, his last exhibition was here. We were truly honored to have that.
Right.
We've had Maxfield Parrish, Georgia O'Keeffe.
So people can watch
Yeah.
major artwork.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and not to forget we had MC Escher
Oh, yes.
that came,
Yeah.
and in the final days of that, there were lines out the door with time tickets. So
Yeah.
if you are a member, you can skip the line, you can come in. It's definitely, especially for our holiday shows, it's definitely a perk.
What kind of holiday shows can we see?
Well, we did have the MC Escher, Wendell Castle. Coming up in the future, we have Alphonse Mucha, who is the master of Art Nouveau. Down the road, we're going to have Andy Warhol. We're going to have a special show with that. So we've got some really exciting things coming up in the next few years.
So it's not just dusty old collections. There are lots of original.
Yes.
So,
Mucha is very famous.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that the goal and vision of MAG is, like, we want to offer something for everybody. We want to be at the center of the art conversation. We offer something for everybody. So if that is that you're coming into the creative workshop or you're coming in to see a video installation, we also offer year-round. We do specific days that are called celebration series days, where we celebrate the different cultural heritages, and we bring people in and offer programming during those times that is centered to celebrating those cultural heritages. And so if you say, MAG doesn't have something for me, I guarantee if we don't have it, we're trying to get it.
Say I have $5 on a Friday night. Is there a way to discover the museum?
Actually, we have this program called $5 Friday, which is $5 museum admission, and what that includes is usually some type of added, usually we have a musician, or we'll have a public lecture, or a movie, just something fun in addition to museum admission.
Well, that's fascinating. Now, how about a tour? I really need somebody to show me around.
Yeah, so we have a couple different tours. We have the docent tours, which you can call and schedule at any time at your convenience. And then we also have this other program called detours. And detours are kind of quirky themed tours that talk more about like the sordid secret histories of the artists, kind of more scandalous things happening in the art world that you wouldn't learn about by reading the label. So those happen once a month on the third Thursday of every month.
Third Thursday.
Yes.
And the other program that we offer is called Mag Connect. So that is, we have a wonderful Mag Connect program leader, Dolores Jackson Radney, and she is going out into the community and educating different community members who might say, you know, I don't know if MAG is for me, or might not have the fiscal resources to come to MAG. And she is working with these community groups to bring them in buses, and she offers specific guided tours. Sometimes it's a general tour of the collection. Sometimes we have specific themed ones based on what's going on in our collection.
Fascinating.
So we have, right now on view, we have a collection from this woman, Carol Ann Marling, and she has paintings of the 19th Ward. So specifically right now, Dolores is out in the community saying, hey, come see the 19th Ward on view here.
This is your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you have Rochester artists, and you maintain that Rochester connection.
Yeah, that's very important to us to highlight Rochester artists. In the past, we've done an exhibit from Josephine Toda. It was amazing. She took classes at the Creative Workshop, and we were thrilled to be able to have her children allow us to show her works.
Oh, my.
Yeah, she grew up here in Rochester.
Oh, isn't that something? So now, if I'm interested in buying a piece of art by an artisan from Rochester,
you can certainly come to the Clothesline Festival and buy from different artists, but we're keeping our art.
Yeah.
and, but I mean, you have a store too.
We do, yes. Our store highlights local artists.
Right.
Yeah, everything from jewelry to postcards to sculptures to paintings and beautiful shawls. They offer a little bit of every different medium celebrating our artists.
And that's for souvenir if you're visiting for the day. How about a lunch? Can I get a lunch while I'm there?
Yes, we have a restaurant, Brown Hound Downtown, and they have a changing menu. It changes seasonally. Their brunch is always amazing. Oh, and we've had Jack White from the White Stripes came.
That's
John
true.
Lithgow
John
came to
Lithgow.
Brown Hound Downtown, so it's like a celebrity.
Famous.
It's famous.
And they have a wonderful, if you don't want to sit down for lunch, they have a wonderful bakery. Can grab a croissant, grab some coffee. We grab multiple coffees a day.
Now, I've even seen some art on the sidewalk around the museum.
Yes.
So what's that all about?
Well, so the art on the sidewalk, that's part of our Art and Story Stroll.
Art and Story Stroll.
Art and Story Stroll. So you can, it's just a fun walk around. You can read some poems. You can go to our website to learn a little bit more about where the poems are coming from. And we also have out in front of our 1913 building, which is the original from Emily Sibley Watson, we have 2 cylinders that light up at night and cascade our art on the walls of the building.
Well, illuminated displays at nighttime are big right now.
Yeah.
People can really watch for that nationwide, it seems like. What other artistic currents do you think are influencing your collections or your exhibits?
So one thing that we recently started was mural painting. So every year we hire a different graffiti artist, street artist to paint a mural in our museum.
In the museum?
In the museum, which is really beautiful because it bridges the gap between, high art and graffiti.
And so people can watch for this every year.
Every year, yes.
Yes, in the past we've had great artist Nate Hodge. We served as the location for Sarah Rutherford, a wonderful artist who did a series throughout Rochester called Her Voice Carries of different strong females in the community, and the hub for her final work was at MAG. So you could see all of them come together at MAG.
Isn't that fantastic?
Right now we have the graffiti artist Foie Crew, who are just celebrating 30 years of making murals, and we're excited to see what happens in the future.
And so is art being created right there?
Yes, yeah, and it's cool because, I mean, you can come to the museum to visit our permanent collection, our temporary collection, and then you can also see the art as it's being created.
That's fantastic. Now, Memorial Art Gallery is part of the University of Rochester.
Yes, that's correct.
Explain that relationship a little. How does that work for you?
Well, we are the Rochester's Civic Art Museum. We are a part of the University of Rochester, and we work closely with them to bring students over.
I see.
There's so many opportunities to incorporate art into the student learning there, and they're a really great partner. All of the university staff do get in for free, and we encourage them to utilize that and come over. There's some different classes that we take that the students can take in terms of coming over and what they see in terms of bedside manner. There's some different optics learning opportunities.
Oh.
And we also offer half-price membership at the individual and family level to all University of Rochester staff, students, and faculty.
No kidding.
Yeah, so they can come back with their families, not just by themselves.
That's a big benefit. Now, how about younger students in the Rochester Central School District, for instance?
Yeah, so we have this program called the Extended Learning Program. It's 3 different schools in the city, and they come in every Friday. They walk around the museum, they talk about different works of art, and then they go down to the creative workshop and they create their own art.
They create their own.
It's called ELC, Expanded Learning Collaboration.
Expanded Learning Collaboration. I see. So it takes numerous visits, doesn't it?
Yes, they're there for a couple of weeks. I don't.
It's there for a couple of weeks, and they come into the museum, and our teachers are taking them in. Our director of academic programs, Marlene Hammond-Whitmore, and her staff are taking these kids in and giving them the opportunity to say, what do you see in this art? And learn more about art, and then go in over time during this process they get to create their own art. We have some wonderful videos online talking with the students there, and really the impact it has on them, helping to develop creativity and just giving them the opportunity to experience art. I mean, I remember growing up, it was such a treat to come to MAG. It had to, the bus would be filled up, and it was an all-day experience. So I'm thrilled that we can offer that to these 3 schools and hopefully expand it more.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Now, I notice in the 1913 building, that's an artwork in itself, and the grounds are beautiful. And then there are spaces that are open to the public. Is that correct? The Cutler Union?
Yes.
If I were having an event, would I talk to you, or how does that work?
So you would talk to our events office staff.
Yes. So, as soon as you call them, they can get you on the books. We have wonderful spaces. The Cutler Union, we have our ballroom, which would be for larger events. We have 2 smaller rooms to have maybe a cocktail hour, and then we have our beautiful pavilion that often hosts a lot of cocktail hours,
Weddings,
and galleries.
we have a lot of weddings, proms.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a busy place.
It's a busy place.
But we have a space to accommodate whatever you're thinking.
And that beautiful atrium with the plants.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
All these are open to the public too?
Yes.
It's wonderful. We have a lot we're right across from SOTA, the
Which
School
is
of the
the
Arts.
School of the Arts.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so it's nice. Students often come in and they just sit there and do their homework.
Do they?
yeah, and they come and
It's a
have
beautiful
lunch.
space.
It's wonderful. We
Yeah.
have a lot of people that just come and do office work.
Now, museums can't always rely on their own collections. I mean, it seems that you have to have partnerships and borrow exhibits from other museums. Is that happening also? What kind of exhibits can we watch for?
Yeah, so we have our Alphonse Mucha collection that is a traveling exhibition. We have our Andy Warhol collection that is in partnership with Bank of America that will be coming up in the next December, or the next October through December. And we're always collaborating with different museums. A lot of the time, we're thrilled when we can do an in-house exhibition. We have a lot of collaboration with that. We have a U of R collaboration coming up in 2021. It's going to be a wonderful AIDS posters collection talking about the AIDS epidemic, and it's in a lot of collaboration, and we're hoping that we can get that to travel. So we often, when we do our own in-house exhibitions, we have the opportunity then to be the people who are traveling it out. We have a wonderful Judith Schechter exhibition that is going to then be traveling to Des Moines and other places after we put it together.
So on the scale of museums across the country, where does Memorial Art Gallery lie? You're on par with what museums, for instance, other cities? Because it seems like it's a big museum for the city of our size.
We're actually often called the mini Met.
The mini Met.
A mini Met. We're definitely on a smaller scale than the Met, but we are a pretty decent sized museum, especially for the Rochester area.
Right.
It's so great too in Rochester that there's all of these smaller art exhibition areas that are coming up. We love ROCO, the UUU Art Collective.
The ROCO is the Rochester Contemporary.
Yes.
And that's less than a mile away from you.
Yes.
Correct.
That's right. And how does MAG fit into the art scene in Rochester more generally?
Well, we like to think of ourselves, we want to be at the center of the conversation about art. We want to bring everybody together. We are the bigger art museum in the area, and we love to support the other art museums. The Hungerford is something that is wonderful. It's building right down the street from us with all these different opportunities. Axum Gallery.
Anderson Arts Building.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to do different, depending on what exhibition we have, we try to do different programs and partnering with other art galleries. So like a couple years ago, we had part of an exhibition at MAG, and then ROCO had another part of the exhibition. So it was really cool, like come to MAG and see part 1, and then go to ROCO and see part 2.
I see. Now, is there music at the museum?
There is music at the museum. So we have organ concerts. There's an organ concert on the 3rd Thursday of every month.
3rd Thursday.
We also have organ concerts every Sunday at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock.
So you must be hauling an organ in the door somewhere.
We actually have an organ.
You have your own organ?
It is the only Italian Baroque organ in America.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and every year at our Museum of the Dead event, which is our annual holiday Halloween event, where we open the art gallery to everybody dressing up. We often have people that dress up as different paintings. We have some sort of organ concert playing some old film. We've done Nosferatu, Phantom of the Opera, and it's spooky and amazing.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something about the dead?
Yes, Museum of the Dead.
Museum of the Dead?
Yes, it is our annual Halloween party. So we have a DJ in our pavilion space, dancing. We have food tastings. We have whiskey, and then we always have some kind of art making project in the museum, and then we have different docents dressed up as our art, telling people fun facts about our works of art.
Sometimes we have fortune tellers. We have the Rochester Paranormal Society. It's just a really fun event. We have between 700 and 1,000 people dressed up, just
And
roaming the galleries.
costumes are amazing.
Yes, and we give out prizes for the best ones.
Have to be prizes.
Absolutely.
Now, suppose I'm an art researcher. Is this a resource for my own study?
Yes, we have a library. A lot of people don't know, but we do have a library on the 3rd floor of Cutler Union. We have a librarian, Ebony Jones, and she can help you with any of your research needs.
Now, what kind of materials would I find in there?
Ooh, you would find everything from books about art, books about his history, just a hodge. We have children's books, we have paintings. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Does Memorial Art Gallery publish its own books about art? Or?
Yes, we do.
Yes, our curators are often publishing catalogs about the shows, especially as I was mentioning when we create shows. It's like we created a Monet show, our upcoming Judith Schechter, and our curators do publish the catalogs for that.
I see. Are these found online, or do you buy them in the store?
You can buy them in the store.
Oh, that's fascinating. And so looking down the road now, how do you expect to grow your engagement? We're talking to the engagement people here, and I hear a lot of different kinds of fun events.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the things that we're doing, we have a MAG social committee where we're tapping into the audience, the Rochester audience, and saying, what would you like to see? And then we're coming up with programs. Sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error. We've tried a few things, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but we have evaluation tools then to say, you know, is this sustainable? What was the feedback? What could we do differently in there? And really working to find staples, definitely ones that we can repeat, that people are always looking for. That's how Jessica's doing these detours monthly. People, they sell out. We do Museum of the Dead. We have another program called Cocktails with Creatives that the artists in the community really love, and it gives the community a chance to meet with artists one-on-one.
Talk about that a little.
Yeah, so Cocktails with Creatives, we do it twice a year, and we invite 3 creatives from the community, and it can be creatives. We've had singers. We have had the wonderful singer Danielle Ponder to artist Cordell Cordaro and his wife, and they come in and they give a style of presentation similar to what's called the Pechacucha, where it's 20 slides, 20 seconds, and they can tell fun facts about themselves. They could talk about their art, but usually they're talking about how they have these quirky lives and what they like to do in their spare time. And we have a local artist named Magnus, who often is our host, and he is an amazing local artist, and it just gives people a chance to be face to face. You know, they're not selling their art, they're having a chance to have some
Sometimes
cocktails.
they sell it.
Sometimes in the store, but you know, it's not a vendor event. It's not, they're not standing behind a booth having to do that. Instead, we are having cocktails with these creatives and getting to pick their brains and learn about their lives.
And people find art in so many different ways now. Video art, and you know, it must be challenging for you to communicate.
Yes, all the different, especially our new Media Arts Watch, it is all video art based. So it is a little tricky trying to translate why video art matters and why something is more than just weird to the average.
Right, because you're not just standing in front of a painting and feeling what you're feeling or thinking, but there's a time element now to it.
Absolutely. We previously had a work by Bruce Nauman, which was called No, No, No Museum, where that was a person dressed up in a clown costume throwing a fit for 30 minutes, just saying no, no, no.
No. And then, you know, our jobs was, how do we market this as art? So it's tricky.
So, you know, you have some people that come in and love it and hate it, and that's what's the great thing about art, is you don't have to like it, but you're having the conversation about it, and that's our mission. And that's what we want to do. We want to strike up the conversation.
Now, where does this conversation occur on? Do you have a blog or a website?
Yes, so our website, we have a Twitter account, social media, but also just out in the community.
Word of mouth. We want people to be spreading the word, you know, love it or hate it, like come and see it.
Come and see it. That's fascinating. And so please tell us the website one more time.
Oh yes, it is MAG, M-A-G, Memorial Art Gallery, mag.rochester.edu.
And there people can find out about how to give and support the museum.
How to give and support, upcoming exhibitions, programs.
And how to become involved as a docent or a volunteer.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
How to have lunch at Brown Hound.
How to have lunch at Brown Hound, more about our store, more about our creative workshop.
Have a cocktail with the creative.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
Have a read on the sidewalk.
Right, exactly.
Tour the sculpture garden. Is there anything else we've missed?
No. Just come spend the day with us. There's something that I'm sure we can find something that piques your interest.
Yeah, that sounds very engaging indeed. Well, my guests in the spotlight today have been Rachael Brown. She's the Director of Marketing and Engagement, and Jessica Gasbarre. She is the Engagement Director. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Great to be with you. In the Spotlight is a production of Penfield Television with sponsorship from Nokan & Associates, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Advisors. If you enjoy this program, please find us on Facebook, like and share the program, and find our full playlist on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.